Welcome to Petroleum Exchange of India. Today, we will learn about post-trade. Post-trade refers to the settlement and clearing of a trade executed on the PetEx market. First, we will see the actions to be performed by a buyer. So, after logging in to the post-trade website, you will see this screen. Here you will click on Settlement and then click on Normal Settlement. Here you will see the trade that you have executed on the PetEx market. You will see the details like trade number, contract code, delivery mode, etc. If you scroll to the right, you will see the current process, that is the status of the trade. So, the current process that you can see is the buyer pay in, that is the payment obligation of the buyer. I will now click on Edit. The screen in front of you enlists all the steps to be performed to complete the post-trade process. In the owner column, you will find the name of the party responsible for the particular action. As you can see, the first three actions are performed by the PetEx admin. As mentioned before, the first step for the buyer is to perform the buyer pay-in. I will click on the Perform button. This screen will give me all the details of the trade, like the product and seller details. On scrolling down, I will see the total amount that is due. To initiate buyer pay-in, you will first need to transfer the amount due from your personal account to your PetEx virtual account. Once you have transferred the amount, you can check your balance in your funds ledger. To view your funds ledger, you will need to click on the funds operation, then click on funds ledger. Once the page loads, you will see the amount you have deposited in the cash margin limit. I will now go back to the normal settlement page. I will click on Perform at the buyer pay-in stage. I will now scroll down and click on Perform Process button. As you can see, the status appears as closed. After I have performed the buyer pay-in, now I am required to generate the DO, that is the delivery order. I will click on Perform. On the screen, I will scroll down and enter details of the transporter the buyer has authorized to pick up the product. I'll enter the authorized person's name and phone number, the document type that he will furnish, the date on which the buyer will take the delivery of the product, and the document number. I will now click on Submit Delivery. The print icon will appear after the DO has been generated. As you can see, the next step of dispatch and delivery action is pending and will be performed by the seller. I will now log in with the seller details to show you the seller's course of action. In a similar manner to the buyer steps explained before, the seller will reach the normal settlement page and click on Perform. On this page, you can scroll down and the seller will see the buyer details against which he has to make an invoice. On scrolling further, the buyer will see the dispatch initiation button. On clicking it, a pop-up window will appear. The seller will enter the dispatch quantity, the vehicle number, the invoice number, and the transporter details, and then click on Submit. After clicking on Submit, the seller will see the option to upload the following documents: the e-way bill, the product specification, the tax invoice, and the weighing slip. After uploading the documents, the seller will see the status of the dispatch as pending. This is because the buyer, only after receiving the product, will log in and confirm the delivery from his end, after which the status will appear as confirmed. The seller will click on the back button. Let's assume the product has been delivered to the buyer. I will now log in as the buyer into his settlement page and approve the delivery of his account login. The buyer will click on Confirm, which will intimate the seller of a successful delivery of the product. The buyer has an option to raise a dispute regarding the delivery by clicking on the Dispute button if need be. After the buyer confirms delivery, the last step is performed by the PetEx admin, wherein the payment to the seller is released by PetEx and thus completes the post-trade process. Thank you for watching this video. Please watch the other videos to know more about PetEx.